All right, kids, here is Objective 62 notes. Please remember that this is not meant to be a complete replacement for attendance in class. This is just the high points. It's also not the replacement for attentiveness in class. So please make sure that you are paying attention to what we are talking about at school. But of course, this is meant to help you in case you need a refresher or some homework help, or if you were absent, this is better than nothing, I guess. Yeah. So this is Objective 62. We're going to describe qualities of a function using a graph, or we could call these qualitative graphs. And we're going to talk about increasing and decreasing and constant functions. Now, to describe functions, we can call them either increasing and in this, the y value then increases. When you're looking at these graphs, just read them from left to right, just like you're reading a book. I like to think of myself in a little roller coaster car. Always put your hands up on a roller coaster ride. And so this guy is going up a hill. He is increasing his altitude. So increasing is this. The opposite of that is decreasing. And that means the y value decreases. The y value decreases as the x value continues to increase. And so this would be like our little guy going down the hill. He's decreasing in altitude. And then there's the constant. This is when the y value doesn't change as the x value increases. So the constant is this. And that's like when you're coasting into the station after your roller coaster ride, pretending that you were never scared and you're very cool and all those things. So the steeper the line, the higher the rate of change. So obviously there's a much bigger change for this person here. It's very, very steep. This is a little bit shallower. This is a better contrast. This is a higher rate of change. This is a lower rate of change, right? So less steep of the line, the lower the rate of change. Okay, let's practice with some matching here. These are kind of fun. So here we have 4 situations. Here we have 4 graphs. Each of these situations matches one of these graphs. Take a moment and read these situations and see if you can match them with the corresponding graph. Okay, so Rebecca turns on an oven, sets it to 300 degrees. She bakes a tray of cookies, and then she turns the oven off. So 300. And so this is 3. Leon puts some ice cubes into his hot soup to cool it down before he eats it. And then that soup's in his belly. So this must be 4. Bailey has the flu. Poor Bailey. And her temperature goes all the way up to 101. And it stays there. This is Bailey. 1. On a hot day, Karen walks into the air-conditioned building. Temperature goes down, stays in there, and then out of an air-conditioned building, and it's hot again. So graph 2 belongs to Karen. Great. Let's flip that over and talk about Mr. Wilter. This is another example, just a little bit different perspective on it. Mr. Wilter decided to go to the supermarket to buy some food and also to drop off his shoes to get them shined. The graph below shows the distance away from his home as a function of time. The shoe store is farther away from Mr. Wilter's home than the supermarket. So let's first label our x, this is the x, and the y-axis. And so here we're measuring time. The farther we progress down this axis, the later the time. And here is the distance away from home. So the higher the point is up here, the farther away Mr. Wilter is from his home. Okay, Now, does the shape of the graph indicate the shape of Mr. Wilter's path? So is this like a map of where he went? No. Did Mr. Wilter climb a hill and then go down a hill and then go down a shot? No. No, this is not a map. This is not exactly his path. This is his distance from home as it relates to time. So what does the height of the graph tell us? The distance from home. Okay, and see if you can take a moment and match these events 1, 2, 3, and 4 with A, B, C, and D. And so Mr. Wilter arrives at the supermarket. That must either be here or here. Not sure which one. Oh, but wait, the shoe store is farther away. So that means the shoe store is going to be the highest up on the y-axis. So this must be the shoe store. So then this would be the supermarket, C. And then Mr. Wilter looks at his watch and realizes he could be late, so he speeds up his pace considerably. So make sure you pay attention here. So if he is speeding up his pace, that means he is increasing his distance away from home at a higher rate. This is a higher rate of change. So he's walking and, oh, now he's moving faster. So that would be A. Mr. Wilter arrives home. That's the last thing he did. That's D. And Mr. Wilter arrived at the shoe store. We established that that is B, because it's the farthest point away from home. So how do you know when Mr. Wilter has stopped or he's at a place? How did we know this is where he was at the grocery store and the shoe store? And the line's horizontal. He's not getting any farther away from home. When does he walk the farthest or fastest? I'm sorry. We had a little argument in class. It could either be this or it could be this. I think this is steeper. So I would say between the shoe store and grocery store. And when does he walk the slowest? Again, I would say it would either be the very beginning or the very end of the trip. Poor Mr. Wilter, he's tired. Very beginning or very end. Either one works. Okay, great. Now, this is the most exciting part of the lesson. This is when you get to create your own graph. So here you are going to create a graph using the following guidelines. And so you should label the X and Y axis, not literally X and Y, but what they are measuring. Label 4 more events. They don't have to be things that can be measured. We need to include 1 increase, 1 decrease, and 1 constant. Have a descriptive title, and everything needs to be school appropriate and logical. So let's do a quick example to get you going here. There were meant to be 24 blocks across. There's 25. I'm sorry. So I set this up so that you can do a 24-hour day or a 12-hour day or an 8-hour day, whatever you want, whatever works for you. You can do your time by class period, whatever works for you. I'm going to do, an 8-hour day that goes from, let's see. I'm going to go, I'm just going to do a 24-hour day. So here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and here's midnight. And I'm going to measure, how hungry I am in the day. Hunger. And this is time down here. And I'm going to measure hunger starving down here. And like so full, I'm going to chuck up here. And let's just say this is comfortable. So this would be kind of hungry. Oops, sorry. This would be kind of hungry, kind of full. And this is like in the region of making bad life choices. All right. Let's see. Well, yours is going to be different. I wake up at about 5 and I'm 4:30. I'm too tired to be hungry. So I'm just going to say I'm comfortable. So I'm going to label wake up. And let's see, about 8 o'clock, just about when I'm trying to get to work, I'm pretty darn hungry. So I'm going to put down, that's also when I'm trying to get to work. Going to work. Okay. And it's probably about 9 o'clock until I get to eat my breakfast, usually at my desk. And I'm pretty happy then, so I'm a little bit beyond comfy, a little full. Gotta, power up for the day. And so I'm gonna say breakfast is here. Okay. I will say my hungriest time of the day is just before lunch. I'm like starving. And after I've eaten lunch, I'm pretty happy. So this is after having eaten lunch. And then I could get pretty hungry before dinner. When I'm cooking dinner, I want to eat all the things while I'm cooking dinner. And then having eaten dinner here. And it tends to stay pretty constant throughout the night. I do sometimes want to munch on things at night, but I don't always eat. So now I have to figure out how to do my lines, whether these lines should be gradual, if they should be spiky, if whatever fits my situation the best. So I'm going to do a horizontal line here because I'm not even conscious. I don't know if I'm hungry or not. So that's, I'm going to leave that horizontal. Now this process between waking up and going to work, I'd say I gradually get more and more hungry. And I stay that way until I eat breakfast. And then I'm all the way up here to satisfied very, very quickly. And then gradually, even gradually, that's a steep line. I get so hungry between breakfast and lunch. I'm just really, maybe I should move this closer. Anyway, and then all of a sudden, I eat lunch and I'm happy again. That's a very steep line again. And then it's a gradual getting hungry for dinner, and then all of a sudden, I'm fed and happy again. And then I would say I stay mostly happy all night, so I'm going to do like a gradual line out here. I go to sleep about here, so I don't actually know how hungry I am when I'm unconscious. Okay, so I just included 4 more events. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of them. That's a lot of them. I have 1 increase, 1 decrease, at least 1 constant. Oop, I don't have a descriptive title. So I like to recommend my students use these labels here. So hunger throughout the day or time. So hunger throughout the day. And everything is school appropriate. I think, and logical. So this is an example of how I did mine. Now that you've seen this example, please don't use your hunger throughout a 24-hour day, because you could just totally rip off what I just did right now. If you'd like, you could do, though, your hunger over the course of 12 hours, maybe from 8 to 8 or from 7 to 7. Or you could do your stress level throughout the day. You could do your, I don't know, the volume of your surroundings throughout the day. You could do whatever you would like, just as long as it's school appropriate and makes sense. So have fun with it. This is one of our favorite lessons, so I'm looking forward to seeing what you have. All right, guys, if you have any questions, please do not hesitate to contact me at drones@d231.rochelle.net. You are absolutely no bother to me. I wouldn't give you my email address if I didn't want you to contact me, so please, again, don't be bashful. Thanks a lot, kids, and yeah, we'll catch you on the next one. Bye.